the man who drank himself to death. Literally, Eben Byers was the kind of man people admired. Born into wealth in the late 19th century, he was a celebrated athlete, a successful businessman, and a socialite with an enviable life. But in 1927, everything changed. During a train ride, he injured his arm, a seemingly minor mishap that would seal his fate in one of the most bizarre ways imaginable. Byers sought relief from his persistent pain, and his physical therapist recommended a cutting-edge health tonic called Radithor. It promised to dull pain, boost energy, and enhance vitality, a miracle in a bottle. Intrigued, Byers immediately got a prescription, picked up a small bottle, and followed the instructions, one tiny spoonful per day. The results were almost magical. Within days, the pain eased, and Byers felt more energized and alive than ever. Convinced he had found the secret to eternal youth, he began consuming Radithor by the bottle. One bottle turned into two, and soon Byers was drinking 3 bottles every single day. What Byers didn't know was that Radithor wasn't medicine, it was poison. Its primary ingredient? Radium, a radioactive element believed in the early 20th century to have miraculous healing properties. Health products laced with radium flooded the market, touted as harmless and life-enhancing. But Byers' blind faith in this so-called elixir would cost him everything. For years, Byers continued his Radithor regimen, consuming over 1,400 bottles. At first, he seemed invincible, but in 1931, the horrifying truth caught up with him. His teeth began to rot, his gums decayed, and one day, his lower jaw simply fell off. Doctors discovered that Byers' bones were literally disintegrating from radiation exposure. His jaw and parts of his skull were surgically removed, but the damage was done. Holes began forming in his skull, exposing his brain. Byers' body was crumbling, but he continued to waste away in agony until 1932, when he finally succumbed to radiation poisoning. He was buried in Pittsburgh in a lead-lined coffin designed to contain the deadly radiation still emitting from his bones. But the story didn't end there. In 1965, scientists exhumed Byers' remains. To their astonishment, his skeleton was as radioactive as the day he was buried. Radium's half-life is 1,600 years, meaning Byers' bones will remain deadly for centuries. Byers' gruesome demise became a cautionary tale, sparking outrage and forcing regulators to rethink the unchecked marketing of so-called miracle cures. Today, his story stands as a chilling reminder of the dangers of blind trust in untested science and the devastating cost of chasing immortality.